All right, quick rundown just to catch you guys up to speed with what's going on. Very windy. Round one was probably the windiest of all the rounds. Even shot like over 1,000 rated, which was crazy. I played very safe. I was hitting the fairways until like the back stretch. Couldn't hit the fairway to save my life. Ended up shooting 6 over, I believe, which wasn't bad. It's above what I rated now, but it was some dumb mistakes coming down the stretch, which locked me in for I think 24th place out of 44. Second round, a little less wind, but it was still present, and shot even that time. Didn't go out of bounds once, I don't believe, but I choked 4 or 5 200-foot approaches in for birdie. I kept leaving myself with a 50-footer. I laid up most of them, got aggressive on a couple of them and hit cage, but missed out on easily 5 birdies. That's unfortunate, but I didn't go backwards at all. I advanced from 24th place to 20th place. Cash is 17 and I'm 2 strokes out of that, so that's the goal for today. Another thing, I was carrying this bag round one, basically an entire disc golf store worth of inventory, and in reality I'm only throwing like 3 discs on this course, so this was destroying my shoulders. Each round was 4 hours, so minimize the bag. Quick rundown, of course, putting with the PA3s, throwing putters, Envy, Proxy. This guy's getting very little playing time because of the amount of wind. Although today seems pretty calm, so he might get some more playing time. From there, we go into my mid-ranges. 2 mid-ranges, we have the Mako 3, which is only gonna be thrown on 1 hole, and that's hole 10, that straight tunnel shot that you guys saw. Hopefully this works. I don't think I'm gonna use this today, but this is the MD5. I might. We're playing long to long, so I haven't played that pin, so I might end up using this for a couple forehand approaches, because this A2 was screwing me over yesterday. Speaking of A2, 2 of them. We have the Money 750 A2, and then the Gannon Burr 500 A2. This one's more stable, so I'll kind of be figuring out whether or not I'll be throwing this or the MD5. We'll see. 4 fairway drivers, Royal Rage 2, Instinct, 1 or 2 holes that I might be throwing this on. Chroma FD, same thing. It's just really gonna depend on the wind. There's a couple holes where I'm gonna need like a straight fairway shot, so we'll just have to play that out by the wind. These 2 will get more of the playing time. We have the Metal Flake FD3 and then the Horizon FD3. This dude, I was throwing this guy all over the course yesterday. He's gonna be averaging a lot of playing time. You wanna put him on your fantasy team. And then a stack of DD3s. It's bomb or hyzer out on this course, and that's it. You're throwing the same shot 18 times. Well, 30 times. There's a lot of par 4s. The rough out here, it's very tough to find your discs. So these are backups. I'm not even throwing them unless I need them. S-line, kind of the same situation. This Cloudbreaker for forehand bomber shots, which again, playing by the wind. This wind is making you really think about what you're doing off the tee. The guy with the most playing time, this bad boy, my most overstable Cloudbreaker. I threw this 80 of my shots yesterday, so you will be seeing a lot of this. Same with this DD3, very overstable, but I can get a little bit more distance out of it. And then just the Huck PD for my backhands. Basically, shots where I would throw my FD3 for forehands. If I need a backhand, this will be that slot. Kind of like that 300, 320, 330 distance. You're caught up to speed. As long as I can hit some clean putts, I think we can make cash.
Alrighty, quick PSA. Mason, who did the recording, did a pretty poor job, so kind of bear with me through the video. Feel free to roast him in the comment section, though. Hole 1, 571, all that tall grass is out of bounds, and I pulled it right, kind of where that pole is. From there, I had about a 250-foot, 275-foot shot that I put right on the pole to save par, so I wasn't too upset about it. Hole 2, we have a water carry shot. I went forehand, hoping to turn it over. Bailed out to the right where there's a lot of OB, but somehow managed to get the green flag. Pitching up, I'm not messing with any circle 2 putts today. Taking an easy par and moving on. Hole 3, par 4, 540. I learned from my practice round that all I need to do is put this in the fairway, kind of where that short tee pad is. We have a ripping left to
Thank you.
Left to right wind. Put it exactly where I wanted to, but I was a little pinched off by these trees. Still managed to have a nice hyzer out over the top, leaving myself probably a 25-footer that I tapped in. Had a little tailwind, so I felt pretty confident going into that. 483 par 3 with this wind, not messing with it. All you're going to see today is just big hyzer shots. It seemed like every hole that we had was either a headwind or a right to left, so playing a hyzer, pitching up with my A2, tapping in for the par, and moving on. Par 4, 520 feet. OB left and right, but hit this perfect down the gap. Put myself in a pretty decent spot, but just choked the approach. That wind was confusing me with the left to right. I thought I could get a hyzer there, but just pulled a little left. But again, tapping in, making the par. Moving on to this sick hole, 320 feet down a hallway. My goal is to get as far down there as I can before hitting a tree, but I did not actually get that far down there. But technically still a fairway hit. Going with the Proxy, missed my line, hoping to get lucky, but kicks me off to the right. Thankfully, I do have a gap over there, so I'm able to just kind of pitch up through a little hole, take the easy bogey, and move on. First bogey of the round, so not too upset about it. Now we jump over to hole 7, 300 feet, a forehand or a backhand shot. In hindsight, I probably should have gone forehand. We had a crazy left to right wind, so it just turned that backhand over the whole way. Wanked my approach, leaving myself a 20-footer into a headwind. That did not go well. You can blame the putter or you can blame the approach, but we move on to hole 8. Easy par 3. Just need to get it in the fairway, which I did. Easy approach with the Envy, leaving myself about a 15-footer, kind of a death putt. The wind was down and just short-armed the putt. This is where Mason came in clutch. We had a 300-foot island hole, but he missed the drive. Thankfully, I landed on the island. I have a stiff tailwind. It's up on a mound, and then it just started to rain too, so there's a lot kind of going through my mind. I know to get it high though with this tailwind, cash the putt, somewhat of a bounce back, but I'm just happy to get a birdie. Par 4. You can either try to cross this creek or just play the layup. I'm going with the PD, strictly going for the layup. Obviously I'm wanting the birdie, but I'm not going to do anything dangerous to get it. Mason again, he missed my approach, but it wasn't all that good. I left it 20 feet to the right, uphill, into a headwind, missed the putt.
Too high.
Forehand shot with my cloudbreaker. If I kept it lower, I definitely could have had the distance, but I just kind of skied it up.
My first
I'm happy to approach and get it under the basket. For whatever reason, I cannot lay up, so I was happy for that. This is a monster par 4. I'm wanting to get a lot of distance with this forehand, just kind of get it up in the fairway, but I throw it straight into the ground. I was very confused. But thankfully, it's still in bounds, so now I'm just kind of trying to get up into where I can actually have a chance at saving bogey, but still kind of short-armed the approach. Now I've got about a 300-foot water carry with a left to right headwind, so I was very sketched out, but I did make it across. Rain's picking up, pitch up with the Envy, and wanked a putt. Double bogey. At that point, I was actually tied for last cash, so that double bogey kind of hurt me mentally. This was a grip walk by your boy, but I am in by the skin of my teeth. So I try to get aggressive with this forehand. The wind got underneath it, started skipping me off to the right, and now I'm actually OB. So this is kind of a bummer. I now know that I'm not in cash, so I can't afford to really lay up anymore. So I'm going for the 60-footer. Somewhat of a decent bid. I hit the koozie and just sits down, taking another bogey. What do you know? Another hyzer shot on this par 4. Just trying to hit the fairway, and I do just that. I actually have a forehand into the green, but I've been kind of sketched out with the forehand, so I like to go with the PD. It was a bad play. Mason missed the upshot and the putt for par, and then he proceeded to miss my drive on this hole, but 700 feet, I land in the fairway. The basket's over there by the trees, left to right wind. So I decided to stick with my gut, go with the forehand. I need to play this hard and flat and crash into those trees. However, I sky it up, the wind takes it, I don't even make it to the trees, I throw out of bounds. Try to give myself a healthy bid. Didn't. And then icing on the cake. Right through the chains, double bogey. So at this point, there's 3 holes left. I mentally checked out. I think there's no way to make cash, but I told myself just kind of finish strong. You got 3 holes left. Just kind of make it work. I get pretty aggressive on this drive. Instead of going with the cloudbreaker, I go with my C-line DD3 just to get a little bit more distance. Made my approach a little bit easier since I got a lot more distance off the tee. 25-footer uphill, again with the tailwind though, so I was feeling confident on that. Cashed in the birdie. This is a crazy shot. It's 517 feet. You have to get around those trees that I was zoomed in on, and you're carrying OB the entire way. So you have to get around that last tree in order to get inbounds, and I do just that. Now I've got about a 200-foot low ceiling approach shot. I'm going with the Envy, left to right wind, so it didn't actually finish back. So I'm left with about a 20-footer to the right with a crosswind, right to left. dead center chains. I thought it was a birdie at the time. For whatever reason, that 520-foot hole is actually a par 3. But here's a 530-foot hole, par 4. Big cloud breaker. We had a headwind right to left, or left to right, I'm sorry, on this hole. I do hit the fairway. Nice pitch up with the NV. This is to seal the deal and make last cash.
No, I'm just kidding. Mason missed the upshot, so we're having to reenact my tap in. I made it. As of right now, I'm second to last cash. It sucks because that stretch of double bogey, 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 double bogey sucked. It killed me mentally. I was checked out, but then I just kind of had to remind myself. I was like, hey dude, finish strong. Anything can happen. Birdied out to make cash, so stay in it. And if anybody's wondering who missed all these holes, it's this man Mason. So if it was bad recording, blame him.
Hashtag roast me.
It's we're about to go squeezing around at Sherwood. He's gonna make the vlog, so you guys be sure to check it out, and I'll see y'all then. Peace.